Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Phaedra Starr. I am your embodiment, your pleasure coach, creating life transformation through magic and Tantra. Okay, guys, and so I would like to talk a little bit today about what most of us are going through, which is when you are building a life and people and circumstances, especially toxic people, are throwing you a curveball or maybe the whole entire wrench. So, how to work and navigate this through a tantric model? How juicy, right? So in Tantra, most of us think about Tantra, they think about connections, they think about love, they think about romance, they think about the Kama Sutra and sex. But Tantra, my darlings, is yoga first. Long before we get to those spaces that involve deep intimacy, we do something radical. Yep, that's right. We actually use our situations, our circumstances in the moment to radically transmutate what the heck is going on. So, energy is energy. Remember that. And when people come at you with their anger, their rage, their shadows, most of us want to recoil, retaliate. Some of us get so triggered we feel apt to provoke, but those triggers are an opportunity. And I want to just mention these clearly. So, triggers are opportunities, but to get there into a space, we have to be willing to slow down and see what's really happening in the moment. So here's the truth. When people bring you their anger, when they bring you their problems, their excuses, their rage, it really doesn't have anything to do with you. Being that you're not provoking, you're not instigating, you're not adding fuel to the fire, what they're doing is just projecting their own mirrors, their own situations. Now, how to stay present, how to stay at peace in the middle of all that going on, that's the real magic. That is the real juice. Understanding that energy in itself is a charge. And then whatever we add to it, whatever emotion we add to it, is what it's going to turn out to be. So when people are charging hard at you, when you're building a life, when you're knowing your passion, you're following your dreams, and then somebody comes in and just tells you you're fired, or your girlfriend leaves you, or your car breaks down, or maybe it's all of those things that happen all at once, or maybe somebody's just being outrageously nasty to you. How do you recover? How do you move through that? Because we always try to prepare ourselves through things like meditation practices, inquiry, shadow work, mirror work. We all have these this modality work that we can do that really helps us, right? And in the moment, yep, in the moment, it's like, whoa, where did all that stuff go? And if we're not consistent, and working on being present. And that's why I say meditation is so dang important, right? It's not just a nice idea. Meditation is literally the process of getting far enough, long enough into your mindset to be an observer, to be witness to what's happening instead of jumping into every situation. Now, having said that, your challenges are always going to get bigger, right? Just as soon as you get to one and you're like, oh, yeah, 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 I've got this one. I think this is pretty good. Things will amplify and the game will be increased for sure. So here's what I want you to recognize. We're going to talk something about high magic. So high magic is when you take the energy of it. When you recognize this is anger energy, or this is jealousy energy, or this is insecurity energy, and you're like, oh, this has an emotional trigger attached to the energy, but it is not the energy itself. And we're not talking about bypassing or skating over something. We're not talking about dismissing it and pretending it isn't there, because clearly you are feeling it, you are charged, and it can be damned annoying. So, what are you going to do with it? Sit with it. Sit with it in a minute. And when as the person is coming at you, you have the possibility to just walk away. First of all, don't ever put yourself in a position where you are being hurt or harmed and stay there. You have the position to walk away. And I encourage that immediately. If someone is being nasty to you, block them. You don't even owe them an excuse. You don't owe anything to them. You can say, thank you very much. This is not for me, and be neutral about it and leave the scene. You don't need to instigate, because what happens is mostly those people that are coming at you with a full charge are looking exactly for that. They're looking for the energy that you can put back into it. And then you're just adding fuel to the fire. So, in Tantra practice, the first thing we learn is the breath. Then we go into asanas. Then we move into devotional practices. And we do it on this level for a reason, because Tantra being the last eight limb of yoga, for a good reason, it means that we need to be able to slow down. And that can be really, really, really trying when someone is hitting all your buttons. So here's one thing I want you to remember. Pain is, is an invitation into awareness. And your triggers are an opportunity to elevate. And the chaos around you is the point to strive for that outrageous act of inner peace. Okay. And I know I'm talking about this in the moment. There could be somebody in your life right now that has really got you ticked off, that is really just throwing stuff at you. And you're like, why? Because honestly, guys, I don't know why people can't just be kind to each other, love each other. That just seems like a normal, functioning, simple thing to do. But a lot of people really struggle with that. They are so afraid to be in their bodies that they're stuck and trapped in their minds. And when they're trapped in their minds, they say awful, nasty, vile things to you. It doesn't have anything to do with you either. And I want you to remember that. Unless you buy the ticket and agree with them, then you're okay. You're totally fine to say that, that's your outlook, it's fine, or to just not say anything at all. And it's not that you're being cruel, but you don't have to offer someone else a provocation or a reason or anything like that where it just adds more fuel to the fire. So, hi, magic. How do you do this, right? First, you're going to recognize what you're feeling inside. Now, the awareness is everything. Be awareness. I'm angry. I'm feeling triggered. And the next question you can ask yourself is, why? And this is not an invitation for you to go into self-attack or for you to go off into a big giant story. But if something really clear comes up like, I'm afraid or I'm fearful, these you can recognize, and fear and doubt live in a space of uncertainty, and life can be incredibly uncertain. The only thing constant, I say, is change, and it's usually one of the things we're most afraid of, right? But I love this analogy given to me by Jack Canfield. He says, when you're driving on the road at night and you can only see a few hundred feet in front of you with your bright beamers on, right? But you don't know what's past that. You're driving, you know where you're going, but you can't see past the lights you're shining ahead, but yet you keep driving anyway, having faith and knowing that you're going to get there. I want you to think about that in this model that I'm building for you here. Okay? You are moving through, you're going to feel this. Oh, okay, here it is. I'm feeling, this situation. This is okay. It is a story, and it is triggered by a fear or a doubt. It is triggered by something I cannot yet identify. The uncertainty makes me afraid, and I know that's a cultural conditioning. I know that I have been growing up in a life where people are always telling me to be fearful, to protect myself, don't be too vulnerable, don't trust people. All these things can happen, these bad things can happen, because we look around us and we see a lot of devastation, especially right now. I mean, that's clear as a bell. And what I can say is this, guys, we do live in a system that feeds off of negativity. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It does. So the first awareness is to recognize that you're living in a system that feeds off of despair and doubt and depression and disenfranchisement, okay, and disappointment too. All of the D's. And you have a choice. You absolutely do. You can either buy into that or you can say there is another alternative. Here's something we tend to forget. As we're moving through, as we're going forward, things generally come out better on the other side. How many times have you thought about, I'm terrified. I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know where this is going to land. And instead of being able to just move through it with grace, we end up completely overwhelmed, just in our heads, terrified. And then we are creating and spinning and cycling, and we're feeding the system. So what we're not going to do is feed the system. We're going to do a little high magic. And high magic is a recognition of the energetic pull with a story on the side. High magic is really old, guys. It's not something new. It's not something modern. But the terminology is not often used because we've dismissed magic and tried to replace it with other things. But we're not doing that here. I happen to love magic and what it does. And now we're going to talk about alchemy, how you alchemize a situation. So say you're feeling really, really angry. Some person has definitely done you wrong, and it's really spiraled a lot of triggers. What are you going to do? Breathe, see and witness. And now we're talking about the practice in action. See and witness. I feel angry. It's okay. Justify the anger. Don't act on it. Then you're going to work through it. Now remember that emotions also live in the body. So what you're not going to do is let it stick in the head. One of the best things that I do with men and women, especially women, because it's actually easy for us as women to get to these spaces and to transmutate, with men too, but it's a little different. The catalyst is a little different. But with women, I want them to feel it and not suppress it. And I want them to move their bodies while they feel it, which means if you're angry, get into a space where you can scream into a pillow and don't hold it back because all that stuff is stuck in there anyway. You just keep pushing it down if you go, oh, it's not so bad, or, I really should be feeling a certain way. And all those shoulds and ought tos are an equivalent to suffering each and every time. So get into a space where you can just knock the crap out of a pillow. Scream into something. Scream out into the air if you have to, but move your body. Put on what I call a rage song. Something that has like a heavy beat, maybe some rocking, screaming, raw, guttural kind of stuff that really brings it out of you, and feel it because it's fine, but you're transmutating it. That's what you're doing. And then you're going to shift it. You're going to shift the energy and you're going to shift the music. You're not going to stop moving. So I'm giving you kind of a play out in what happens in one of our most beautiful therapeutic energetic practices, okay? And as you're moving through this, the second thing that always comes through is grief. The sadness of what you feel like you've lost, the fear of being in doubt, you don't know what's going to happen, the terror that this is bringing up inside you, and you're going to dance that too. So put on a song that really makes you sad. I mean, makes you want to cry. Now, always this is what happens when we feel the tears, the immense amount of sorrow. We want to freeze. We tend to curl up and hold. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to move through it. And this practice sounds easier than it is when you do it. And it always helps to have another woman who can support you and witness you, who knows exactly how to move you through this process. In the end game, my lovelies, because you're not done when you get through anger and grief. You're going to fully transmutate this into pleasure. Remember, this is energy. And sources, systems, diabolic garbage would love for you to stay stuck in anger and grief because you feed that system that kind of energy overload. But you're not going to do that. No, no, no. You're going to move this into something else. The real essence of who you are is joy, is celebration. It's absolute bliss. And this might sound crazy because you're like, yeah, but what if they did all this? Yeah, they did it. Don't bring it into your world. You're working through that. So the highest level of this magic is about taking the anger and the grief and transcending it into bliss. So you're going to move that into a song that makes you feel joyous, free, alive, even sensual. And you're going to change up how you're moving your body somatically. We're not talking about talking this out. We're not talking about trying to analyze this through your mind. Because again, we'd be stuck up here. And we want to be in our bodies. Remember, the practice of Tantra is about coming out of your mind and being in your heart. right? And so these are all an opportunity to transition out of the garbage that these toxic people are throwing at you. They would love for you to stay there and just bounce that story all over the place with them. But you're not going to do that. You're going to rise above it. So, Tantric practice is about using your challenge in the moment as a catalyst. It's not about trying to have sex and suppress it, bypass it, and try to fix your problems in the bedroom. Don't do that. That does not work. It causes more problems than you know. Even if you feel like you went and had angry sex and you came out feeling better, all that was is a chemical bag shifting. Because a lot of things happen in intimacy that are incredibly enjoyable. You get dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin levels increase. So, yeah, you do get the buzz, but it hasn't tapped into the truth of your trigger. All right, so we're not going to take this into the bedroom and try to work it out in the bedroom. That's not Tantra at all. Tantra is about transmutating energy, using what's coming at you at full force, seeing it for what it is. It is anger, it is control, it is a power play, and it's coming at you at full force. And you're going to feel those emotions, you're going to get them out, you're going to move them through your body, and then you're going to transmutate it. You're going to realize that your natural state is not to be inundated by all of the horrors that people bring to you, but to elevate out of it, through it. And if you keep doing that enough, if you recognize that, oh, this is a projection coming at me. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm feeling, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. And it is fine to feel it because you want to approve your feelings, acknowledge them, be aware of them, fully accept you for what you're going through. But don't stay stuck in your mind. That's never going to help you. And as you're moving this, you might want to have several songs because sometimes it takes a little bit to move this passage through you. Dance is sacred, movement is sacred. It has always been powerful, which is why in some cultures it's forbidden, especially women's dance. Okay, but you're going to celebrate it because women are sacred and so are men. And moving your body, pounding your feet on the earth, feeling the rhythm in your soul is what reconnects you with the divinity of the truth of that energy outside the story. Do you follow me? Yes. So we're absolutely talking about how you use Tantra in real time for people that want to come at you with all the stuff they got. And it's not going to happen once or twice. It's going to happen multiple times until people come at you and you recognize it for what it is. And you almost don't have to move this through your body somatically anymore. Your body goes, aha, I see it for what it is. And enough work on yourself, consistent work on yourself, because I am going to say that shadow work and mirror work and inquiry and these things that I teach and I train people with, they absolutely have their place. This is your toolbox. This is what you use. You see, people, what we do in life right now is we feel an emotion and we go straight into a story. And then we try to find all kinds of ways on the outside world to make it better. And then we wonder why it didn't work because we're not going inside to really fix the problem. That tends to look really, really scary to us. Like shadows. Shadows carry big faces, scary, scary, demonic kind of energy. We go, I can't possibly go there and feel that. I think that my head would blow off. I think I would explode. I think I would just melt into the floor because we are so truly convinced that those shadows are going to wreck our world, and so we avoid them. But what I want to tell you is this: when you can sit with a shadow, because it can't hurt you, love, the brighter you shine, the more it has to dissipate, the more it has to move out of the way. If I walk into a room that's dark and I just blast open the curtains and it's bright and beautiful and an early sunshine day, right? The shadows run. They have no choice but to run. And so when you're building your light bigger, when you're building your peace and your joy from the inside out, they have nothing else to do but diffuse, push outward. And in that moment, when you're shining so bright, you can ask them to come forward. Come, talk to me. Tell me what's going on with you. Behind every shadow is an inner child that is feeling pain and needs to be heard and seen. And if you know that, you know what you're dealing with, it becomes a lot less threatening. See? So those are the truth. The truth of what I'm saying here is that these are all opportunities to get higher. Now, you start using high magic, you keep doing it, you reach into your toolbox when things are going pretty dramatic and you go, I need to be in a space where I'm here and now. How do I do that when I'm feeling like there's catastrophe happening in my world? And what if someone has left your life rather quickly and you're dealing with an immense amount of grief? Because that's a real tragedy too. You're going to cry it out. You're going to feel the anger in your body, and you're going to do exactly the same thing as you would if someone came at you with toxic energy. Because the pain of losing someone is just as big as someone who just keeps attacking you again and again and again and won't stop, especially if that person is someone who's supposed to love you, like a family member, or a husband or wife, or a child. So, what I want to leave you with here is a focus on coming into a space where you now have the power. You have the power to choose whether this toxic energy is going to eat you alive with its lies and its deceptions and its projections, or you're going to choose to stand in your own sovereignty, your own discernment, to feel empowered, to use it as an opportunity to embody the truth of who you are, which is absolute divinity, love. You are excellence. You are perfection in human form. And we just don't remember. And we're learning to remember. Please follow me, guys, if you will. I have so much more stuff coming up, workshops coming up. We are building a beautiful community of conscious connections here. And I want to keep you updated with things that are coming around the corner. If you have questions, please let me know and share how Tantra has changed your life. If you have ever used any of these high magic techniques, please let me know how that was for you. I can't wait to hear your stories. Please share. Namaste.